Who doesn't love a weekend getaway? There's simply no better feeling than being able to pack up that camper and head away for at least a few days to recharge the batteries. Now, everybody's got their favourite spots, but I reckon Queensland has some of the best weekenders and they're only a few hours from the CBD, just like this place. So why don't you come and be a part of the Camper Trailer lifestyle?
For our adventure this week and for the next few weeks, we are joined by a new crew. The Wilson family from Off the Tracks has joined us in their own backyard. Steve and Ali, along with the kids Amber and Riley, live in Brisbane, so Bribie is one of their local getaways.
She went to look out the window was up.
Off the Tracks is a Facebook, YouTube and Instagram channel where the family share their adventures and tips to other families wanting to escape with their kids and learn a bit about the off-road lifestyle. This is the maiden voyage for their new 70 Series cruiser. In fact, most of the mods on this truck were fitted by Steve and Ali just a few days before coming away with us. This week they are towing the Mars Saturn, which is the first in a new range of hybrid off-road campers from the team at Mars. Also in the crew is my good mate Borgie. Now Borgie knows more about four-wheel driving and touring with a camper than most, and he's the kind of bloke that you want by your side, especially if something goes wrong. Borgie has wrangled the keys to the Mars Prado from Celso and will be towing the Saturn once the Wilsons have given it a good shakedown. Next in the crew is Leo from Club 4x4 in his seriously kitted out Defender. This thing has everything: coffee machines, microwaves, induction cooktops, and even solar and battery power to go off-grid for months at a time. Leo's got the UEV 390 in tow from the boys at 4x4 Megastore, which, like his Defender, has a whole lot more packed into it than you would think. Finally, my ride this week is the 4x4 Megastore's 200 series, and I'm towing the Windsor Hybrid XC. This rear entry hybrid is one of the exciting new products from the team at Windsor Caravans, and I'm excited to be giving it a test run on the beach.
Okay guys, so we're heading on to Bribie Island today. Everyone excited? I believe Steve and you guys are pretty much a regular to this place.
Yeah, we're excited to come here. We come here every other weekend. It's a good day trip just to take the kids up, let them swim in the lagoons. There's a swing there that they like swinging on, and once you get sick of that, you just go down the ocean and jump in the waves. I'm looking forward to actually seeing Bribie because I've been in Queensland for 11 years and never been actually, so I'm really looking forward to seeing everything about Bribie Island.
Does anybody actually know where the name Bribie Island come from?
No, don't.
I'll tell you what, my friend over at Wikipedia tells me that the name Bribie come from basically a convict that was linked to the island. So if we're in for anything, I reckon we're going to be in for a bit of a history lesson.
We are heading for the eastern beach on Bribie, so after a quick splash and dash for fuel, we head to Warren Beach, which is our last chance to stock up on supplies. There's a pharmacy, coffee shop, a bottle shop, and an IGA if you need it.
One thing to remember, at this time of the year, you can get a few mozzies around, so make sure you duck into the shops and grab yourself some mozzie repellent.
Bribie Island is a great sand driving spot, which means one very important thing needs to happen. That's airing down the tyres.
For this particular beach, we're going to drop down to about 18 PSI. The main reason being, I want these tyres to bag at the bottom and increase the footprint and basically float on top of the sand. 18 PSI should do the trick just nicely.
So we all know when we're heading onto soft sand to put the tyre pressures down on the car, but it's equally as important to make sure that you're doing that on the camper as well, because soft sand, the only thing that sometimes is going to get you through is having those tyre pressures down.
It's only a short drive to the beach from the car park, and before long, we're on the sand and enjoying the beautiful day. Driving along the beach with the waves crashing and the sun shining is a freeing experience. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've done it before. And if you haven't, well, I guess you better get out there and give it a try. Like any terrain in our country, the beach can catch you out if you're not careful.
We've timed the tide right, drive 2 hours either side.
Yeah, it's nice and flat out there and makes it a lot easier to drive.
I think the biggest thing is if you time it wrong, you've got an auto, you're revving your car out, you're going to burn out your auto transmission. with the menu, again, you're going to be revving it out, especially if you're towing a camper. So research is key. Research the tide times, and then you'll get on the beach and drive like it's a highway like this.
Yeah, it makes all the difference.
The other thing is safety, speed. You know, very important to them, maintain that 30-40k, and if need be, slow down even more. You know, don't have to go fast, just enjoy it.
Bribie is one of those spots that you can drive along and continuously be greeted with more and more. Whether it's a bit of soft sand to test your skills or a beautiful lagoon that you can pull over and have a bite to eat, this place is an ideal weekend getaway for the whole family. After the break, we explore some of Bribie's World War II history before heading to an oceanside campsite that is second to none. We're exploring the stunning Bribie Island this week, and after a good run up the beach, it's time to explore some of the island's wartime history. Fort Bribie was constructed between 1940 and 1942 and consisted of 2 6-inch guns and their support infrastructure. When Japan entered the war in 1941, upgrades were carried out and infantry on the island was increased to ensure Moreton Bay was protected. Today, these structures lie dormant, subject to only Mother Nature's seasons. Some structures are more complete than others, and the Northern Searchlight can even be driven right up to when the tide is right.
I recently learnt that my 95-year-old granddad actually was posted here back in the day. It's pretty scary to think that these weren't obviously ruins back then. They were also protecting the country that we love today.
It's really worth getting out of your four-wheel drive and taking a look at these for yourself, up close and personal. It's great to see the kids getting a lot out of this. One of the many reasons to get your kids out and about to experience this kind of stuff outside the textbooks and the classrooms. Next on the agenda is finding a good spot to camp, and for us, this is the Ocean Beach camping area. There are a heap of great spots along the beach here, some more remote than others and some a little bit more challenging than others to get into. Borgie picked out one for us that for him was an easy drive in, but for the rest of us it would be a little bit harder. And I reckon he may have just planned this. Soft sand and a modern traction control system are not good friends. Often the vehicle will detect that you've lost traction and cuts all power, which at a time like this, it's kind of when you need it the most. Guess it's time to start digging.
What we're going to do here, we've just got Alicia obviously on the back of the snatch strap. I've got some MaxTrax in front of Alicia's tyres just to help the car get through the sand a little bit, reduce that resistance, give her a little bit of an advantage there. Now the idea, we might not get her all the way up there, but the idea is to basically get her a couple of metres up and hopefully straighten that camper trailer up. That way she can back off nice and straight and have another go at it. Before you see the snatch strap take up the slack, I want you to give it a boot full and get it up on those MaxTrax, and we'll see how far we can go.
And just like that, we're up into camp. Now it's time to get the others in. Willow is trying a different approach to this by lining himself up and backing down the beach for the run-up. This will mean that no momentum is lost in the turn, and he should make this look easy. Next up is Leo in the Mighty Defender. He's dropped his tyres down to 15 psi, so he should just float over this, no worries at all. The campsites here at Ocean Beach are beautiful, shaded by trees, but plenty of room for the campers. The Wilsons get into setting up the Saturn, and even the kids are getting involved. These type of hybrid campers are great for a quick setup. Just popping out the roof and rolling out the awning and you're pretty much done. Even the 390 from the 4x4 Megastore is just a press of the button and home is set up for the night, and it's time to chop some firewood and get this fire going.
Well, I've got to tell you guys, we have had an absolutely spectacular day out on the beach. We even had a little recovery out there for a second, but I'll tell you what, we're only 2 hours out of Brisbane and now we're relaxing right here in this beautiful campsite on the beach. Absolute perler. This is what the camper trailer lifestyle is all about.
This week, Borgie and I, along with Leo from Club 4x4 and the Wilson family, are exploring Bribie Island. Today, we are heading away from the main beach of Bribie and are going inland. The inland track of Bribie is well known for being soft, so this could be a bit of fun.
And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn. I'm going to take this straight. Yesterday, obviously, I didn't leave enough space. I've got all my traction control off too, because the 200 is really bad for that.
Now it's Willow's turn in the cruiser.
Listen to a red one.
Well done, Philip. How was it?
Telling the Mars campers, bloody didn't even feel it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
At the rear of our convoy is our much-loved barista Leo in the Defender. This thing is heavy, but it's got more than enough power to make this little section of track look easy. The inland track is a beautiful drive and it snakes its way through the island. Most sections are easily two-way, which is good, but there are a couple of single-lane sections that you need to be aware of oncoming traffic. Much of Bribie Island is still used for the timber industry, and on the inland track you'll get to see plenty of pine plantations. Today though, we are lucky enough to see something a little rarer.
So guys, just noticed on the left-hand side here, we've got some backburning through the pine forest here. I guess that's probably not something that you see every day up here.
No, I haven't seen this before. It brings back memories of driving out to Kakadu.
They obviously do the back burning for a reason, and obviously you can see new plantation here as well. Looks awesome.
Yeah, better to have a controlled fire and keep it all contained than for this entire area. Imagine being caught in here if you were driving along and there was a bushfire. It'd just be, it'd be pretty scary, I think.
I've always found these pine forests interesting. How they get all the trees lined up so perfectly is a little bit beyond me, but it is pretty cool to see, especially from the air. The inland track today has been in great condition. Yes, it was soft in a few spots, but nothing our vehicles and campers couldn't handle. Our camp for the night is Poverty Creek. This is one of the popular spots along the western coast. My suggestion here is to get camp set up as quickly as you can and then head to the water to take in the last light over the bay. From here you can see the peaks of Glasshouse Mountain over the glassy bay. It's pretty special. Bribie Island is such a beautiful spot and a perfect place to bring your family for a weekend getaway. Sure, it can get busy at times, especially in the holidays, but pick your time right, book your campsites in advance, and you'll have a great time away.
It doesn't matter whether your idea of a good weekend away is camping next to a fire under 1,000 stars, trying your luck at a fish or two, or digging a mate out of the sand. I reckon any weekend away has to be better than being stuck at home. So next weekend, why don't you grab the family and the camper, pack it all, head away for the weekend and experience the Camper Trail lifestyle for yourself.
Next week on the show, our crew heads to Inskip Point, boarding the barge to the iconic Fraser Island. Make sure you tune in as we explore a few of the lesser known tracks in the south of the island.